Hello, good afternoon, Prinhound. Welcome back, Croizo. Welcome to The Walking Dead Survivors. Just doing a quick video today about gathering resources. There's lots of pretty lines going across the screen, which presumably means my alliance is raiding somebody, because there's people going everywhere, so they've raided somebody. But there we are, let's not dwell on that, because that's not what we're here for today. My video is just basically about how to get resources, and it's going to be done in sort of 3 parts. Going to start off with a quick look around the map and talking about ways to get resources from the map, then the base, and why we need resources, because that's really important at the base, and then lastly onto the map again. So here we have the map. You can see my base is just dotted here. And around it there are various sort of features. They represent gathering sites where you can go and gather resources. So you'll see that there is, this one is a lumber mill, and you can also see that I've got a person stationed there assigned to gather resources. So one of my survivors who was at my base, and wasn't doing anything, I've just sent her there to go and gather wood, because wood is going to be helpful for building things, and we'll come to that in a minute. So you can assign one survivor to any of the sites, and you'll see that a lot of these sites have got people assigned to them by different players. So they are mainly PvP people. I think they'll probably all be people within my alliance, because most of these are shielded by my alliance. By my alliance's area. So that's a good use for survivors who are idle. I also have a squad of troops that are out gathering resources at the moment. They are there because I have just logged back into the game. So I've been off the game for a little while. So when they had very little world energy, so I just left them doing some farming. Now they have gathered 149,000 wood, so it's quite an effective way to do it. And you can have all 3 formations out in theory gathering resources at any given time. So you can see that this lot, 149,300 meat they have gathered from that hunting site. So they've been very busy and returned lots of resources. Now, whilst when you're running low on stamina to attack people and move your resources, your formations around the map, that can be quite a good use of a formation, just to leave it sitting there gathering food. Worth bearing in mind, though, it's worth leaving one formation on defence. And I'll talk about defence a little bit now, because one of the ways you can also get resources is to raid players. Now, I quite often look for a few players that I know. I think they're inactive players. I do apologise if you're active players. But their bases are, where are they now? Somewhere sort of around this kind of area. I've lost them now. Never find they're in a team. So some players are in an alliance, and if they've got a name in brackets next to them, so this one's in an alliance called 1983. This person here, though, Azeroth, is not in an alliance, and neither is Binzi. So I will zoom in on Binzi, and I might decide to go and raid Binzi. So this is one way to get extra resources. So I'll just send this formation down here. So they are marching off to get to see what they can steal. Basically, they are going to steal resources. Also, let's just see if there's some close to my base. You get zombies and what they call the Woodbury armies. These are the Woodbury armies. I won't attack one of them because you have to rally to attack them. It takes a little while. But there's a few of them sort of lingering around my base. More of the Woodbury armies probably than the zombies. And there's a squad of zombies here. So another way is to get to attack zombies. So you can see that they're off marching and they're going there. So I can attack the zombies as well and get resources. So you'll see that when I attack these zombies, I get 6,500 tomatoes, 4,300 wood. So they're carrying quite a lot of stuff, these zombies. I'm never quite sure why zombies are carrying so many useful building and resource materials, but that seems to be what the zombies do in the game. Presumably it's in case they run out of brains to eat, I suppose. Then this is now inside my base. So the main reason to be building these things is to upgrade buildings and do research and train troops, and all these things need different resources. And the key resources are the 5 at the top of the screen. So you've got the veggies or tomatoes, water, wood, meat, and bullets. As you can see, I've got more bullets than I've got everything else at the minute. I've got 2.7 million bullets. And then various amounts of water, wood, and whatever else. So it depends what you do. Now, you need them to upgrade buildings. So if I want to upgrade my radio station here, you can see that it requires 745,000 tomatoes, water, near 700,000 wood and 149,000 meat. No bullets. So I can just hit go because I've got all the resources and off we go. And that's because I've been sort of gathering resources for quite a while. These are ones I've gathered from killing walkers, so I get those. I've also got my farms here that are producing vegetables. They produce lots of veggies or tomatoes. I don't know why they call them veggies, because tomatoes are actually a fruit. There we are, let's not dwell on that. I've got my sawmills down here. My lumber mills produce wood. These buildings are all producing various things. Meat in my meat buildings, my butcher's shops. My gunsmiths are making bullets down here, and my wells produce water. So all the time my base is producing stuff. And if I have spare survivors around my base who can't be assigned to a gathering site, because you can only use so many at one time, I can always click on a bush or whatever else and send them off to go out and gather resources from around there, from within my base site. And as you can sort of see, I've largely cleared my base site of all of the trees and bushes and whatever else that were around it. Because I don't need them there anymore, so I'm using them for other things. So I've cleared my base, and most of the wood and fruit and food and stuff has been put inside here. So these are all. So that's sort of different ways of getting resources. So you've got gathering sites on the maps, either with troops or with individual survivors. You've got attacking zombies or the little armies or various people. You've got growing stuff inside your house. Inside your base, so you can produce stuff inside your base, either with the buildings or by harvesting around the edges of your base. So like my little man here is picking off loads of tomatoes. As I say, the game refers to them as veggies, but they are, of course, a fruit. Wisdom being not to put them in a fruit salad, as everyone knows. And then you'll see also that over here I have my squad that raided, so they set off over here and raided Binzi. So there's Binzi, who I just raided. Now you can scout ahead to sort of find out what other players have got, but I've raided Binzi without knowing what Binzi had. So to find out what Binzi had, I can check when they get back, but it'll say, here we are, I go to my reports, offensive victory, you attack Binzi's town. Binzi's town contained 50,000 tomatoes, 11.4 thousand meat, 39,000 water, 109,000 wood. And Binzi's base was undefended, which is sort of fairly standard. If you know where to look, there's quite a lot of undefended, easy to attack bases around the game. Make for easy targets. So Binzi, so you can actually, the most lucrative way of getting extra resources is to find other players and raid them. The downside, as I say, is you can make enemies by doing that. You could also end up kicking off an alliance war. So let's say, my alliance is largely down here, but let's say I decided to come up here, and they're not in alliance. Although they're in alliance territory, there you've got Marrow-Coney, who's not in alliance. So they are, like I say, any player who's not in an alliance becomes a bit of an easy target. So we can attack them without any real worry of repercussion. The other two here, TZS, well, they've got a shield on their base, so I can't attack them anyway. This Rusty is in an alliance called Thor. Now, I could attack him, but the danger is it might kick off an alliance war, and it's likely to lead to other people attacking me back, or him getting support to defend his base from other players in his alliance. So, for example, in my alliance, we had a player got attacked. Somebody attacked him. We had about a 10-minute warning because they were quite away from where his base was. The army that was coming to attack him marched all the way across the screen, and by the time it reached his base, more or less everyone in the alliance had sent troops to support him, so that when they arrived, his base was so heavily defended that they lost a lot of troops and didn't gain anything, because you can lose troops if you attack stronger opponents. I mean, you lose a few troops if you attack weaker opponents, but you lose hundreds if you are completely outclassed, and that's what happened with that particular attack there. So be careful would be my advice with who you choose to attack. Look for, dare I say it, it feels a bit bullying to say it, but look for weak targets, particularly inactive players. There's a few dotted around the map, and my kind of view is generally you don't need to feel a bit guilty about attacking inactive players. Yes, it's one of those things. If they're inactive, they probably will never know. And it's also, if they're inactive, it means the fruit and food and stuff that's being produced in their base just builds up over time, and there's normally plenty of it there. Whereas quite a lot of the time, if you raided me, for example, a lot of the food, fruit, and whatever else would have been put into building, and you can only take so much above a certain level of what I store. So, I mean, at the moment, I'm quite well stocked, I think. But say my meat locker has got 1,900,000 is my limit. Raid proof meat, is 210,000. So if you were to raid me now, you could get at most 23,000 meat, and you would meet my defences, which are not too bad. I mean, I'm not saying they're amazing, but they're strong enough to be fairly costly for most players at this stage in the game. So you choose your targets wisely would be my advice. The other thing is like I said, I kind of got an alliance that are backing me up, and I've backed up other people in the alliance. So those are the ways to get resources, and like I say, they are crucial to keep your building progress going on, also your troop training and stuff like that going on. So you can see down here, I've got, let's just quickly speed this one along. There we are. So I've just trained up some hatchet brawlers. I'll do a bit more about training troops another time. So I've trained up my hatchet brawlers, and then say I want to promote these level 1 staff fighters I've gained from somewhere or other. See, it's 68,000 tomatoes, 238,000 water. My base would take quite a long time to produce all of those things, even allowing for all the farms and wood farms and wells and what have you. Still going to take me quite a time to get all that stuff that I need to train those troops. So going out and taking them from various places around the map is one of the best ways to get it. Either, like I say, the gathering sites or other players, or attacking zombies and would-be armies and whatever else have you. So there's lots of different ways to get resources. Worth trying to sort of keep it all fairly active and think, sort of like I say, plan ahead a little bit. So if you know you're not going to be on the game for a while, that's a really good time to go and assign a large formation to go and gather from one of these hunting grounds or something like that. Whereas if you're sort of if you've got plenty of the stamina, which is indicated by the little loaves of bread in the top left-hand corner, if you've got that, then you're better off raiding players or fighting zombies and whatever else to get resources that way. So lots and lots of different ways to get resources, and hopefully that will help you a little bit in terms of getting as much as you can to keep your town, to keep your builders busy, so that your town is continuously developing, which is really what you want to be doing. Anyway, hopefully there was something useful and helpful in there. Like I say, I'm sort of still figuring out a lot about this game myself, but it does seem to be working reasonably well for me at the moment. My sort of overall strength has come up quite a lot in the time I've played, so hopefully I'm doing something right. Anyway, just remains for me to say, please do remember to like, share, comment and subscribe. As I say, it will mainly be sort of the advice I'm giving is sort of fairly general at this point. Maybe more specific stuff will come in time. Please do remember to like, share, comment and subscribe. I think I've already said that. And it just remains for me to say, may death come swiftly to your enemies. This is Farmer Ben wishing everybody all the best. To take care and goodbye.